All right, we're definitely firing up the expansion clanger. Clank the clanger, as they say. And I'm going to say this is probably one of the most fun quotes to open up one of these segments. Today, we are announcing our engagement. It is our intent to get married, but there are a lot of details of this wedding that still haven't got done yet.
I
Those
love
words
Clank
coming from the
Clanger.
mouth
Oh,
of
man.
Fresno, California Mayor Jerry Dyer.
I love Clank the Clanger. We've got to make a bumper with the sound. It's got to be something we do officially on the show.
We
Now,
got
again,
any sound engineers out there?
I actually think we have to be judicious here. The clanger's not getting clanged. Clanked. It's not getting clanked, the clanger, because there's still lots of work to do to get Fresno a brand new professional soccer team. You read one quote there from the mayor. Now, Pablo is saying the fourth time, and we were trying to do the history. I mean, yeah, we know some of this. We've lived some of this, but we were trying to get the history down. I guess the original Fuego started way back in 2003. That was a summer league club. That was not a professional outfit. So I guess you can count that Fresno Fuego as something, right? It's again not professional. Then you've got Fresno FC. Actually got the logos for the last two professional clubs in Fresno. That's Fresno Football Club, aka the Foxes, or Los Zorros, if you want to do the Spanish version. And then Fuego FC, which is the more recent attempt. They played League One. They drew like 700 people a game or less than that. They also had Jermaine Jones come through like a hurricane, wreak havoc, create a toxic environment, get suspended, which brought all this negative press to Fresno and to the Fuego.
Is Jermaine Jones, is he a wrecking ball? Miley Cyrus, is he the guy coming in on a wrecking ball, swinging into a soccer club?
Yeah, he is not so Tasmanian devil level stuff from Jermaine Jones, who, like, as a player, I loved, and I would I would like for Jermaine to get his what together so he can be part of American soccer. But he made a mess of things in Fresno, ran afoul of the players, ran afoul of the Players Association, eventually got suspended and got booted. And so then you're like, okay, well, maybe Fresno is just salted earth. Like, maybe you just can't do it in Fresno. But USL is nothing if not persistent, Rob. They will try and try and try again. And of course, Fresno is the right kind of town for a soccer club. Like, it feels like they should be able to do this. Now, I believe that the reason that neither Fresno Football Club, which became Monterey Bay, moved west and became Monterey Bay, or Fuego FC, Central Valley Fuego, worked is because they didn't have a stadium. So this is about getting the stadium in place. Justin Papadakis in Fresno for this press conference on Tuesday. And we did, and look, I would love to get Justin on the show. Just to say, we have no ill will towards Justin Papadakis. I just had a conversation with a friend in the soccer industry, and he was like, this is, you got to be impressed by what they're doing. And this makes sense. And I agree. Like, as much as you can be cynical about the real estate play element of it, if this is how USL grows, because you lean into like getting cities to buy into a real estate project, and then you plop soccer into it, fine. If that's a back door for soccer to get into the marketplace, I'm cool with it. So we respect what they're doing. Here's the quotes. We say every match is a 2-hour commercial for the city, and we want the nation and the world to see the community living room. That's what we call our stadiums here in Fresno. All right.
All right. So between the mayor and Mr. Papadakis, they're feeling themselves with these quotes here.
Yeah, and it's kind of like they all got flashy thingied by Men in Black, because it's like, you shouldn't. Are you not remembering that 2 clubs came and died in Fresno? They're acting some of these quotes, and I didn't watch the whole press conference, but some of these quotes make it seem like they're forgetting the history of Fresno, but maybe they're just being positive, right? You got to put a positive spin on this.
Oh, of course.
This clip also includes they want to connect with local youth clubs and have some stuff, and that's great. That's all great. I got this one too. Officials in Fresno began discussing the idea with USL in November, but it's an idea that dates back even further. Dyer, that's the mayor of Fresno, said at a press conference this week the city is evaluating stadium locations, financing options, and potential ownership groups. Fresno is ready to not only have its own soccer teams, professional soccer teams, but Fresno is ready to have its own dedicated soccer stadium right here in downtown Fresno. Though downtown is one of the expected locations for the new stadium, exactly where in downtown has not yet been revealed. But wherever it is, officials expected to generate revenue. Dyer said this venue would serve as an anchor to a much larger entertainment district. The dollar signs in the eyes, like a cartoon, are right there for you. Like, it's right there in these quotes, Rob.
So what did we say are the pillars to these pitch meetings? So obviously, Mr. Papadakis is like, flying from city to city. Almost, I want to picture him on like an old-timey train going from town to town, like giving his pitch to all these whistle-stop spots.
Yeah.
But what are the pillars of these pitches? So we got so the pillars of these things is a willing city council.
Yes.
Land.
Yes.
And like a celebrity or a name of note attached to
well, maybe. This story about Fresno and the announcement also includes that the former head coach of Fresno FC, Adam Smith, I believe his name is involved in trying to kick up the ownership group. That is not yet together. Officials with the city and USL have already toured multiple downtown locations, are evaluating funding models for the idea. They say stadium financing may be paid for primarily through private and public partnerships, but also private equity funds. A potential ownership group is being assembled. Most of the investment work will be led by Fresno Pro Soccer LLC, which is overseen by Adam Smith, former head coach of the Fresno Foxes. So, yeah, there's still a lot of work to be done. You don't have anybody who is actually saying, I'm ready to clock the checks necessary to make this happen. Now, you said he's going around America. Maybe he's got a little hat on. Maybe he's got an old-timey suitcase. It does smack a little of monorail. Like it does smack a little bit of that. In fact, I think somebody in the Discord was like, yeah, of course this is going to work. It worked in Ogdenville and whatever he says in the Simpsons episode, the other places that he says put in a monorail. Like but at the same time, look, there is something to back this up in terms of the sport and what it can mean to the community. And as much as I always want to leave space in the conversation for a question about how this benefits the community in terms of the dollars being spent. Like if you pay your taxes in Fresno and those tax dollars are going to building a soccer stadium, is that a good return on your taxes? That's a tough thing to answer yes or no. It's kind of a gray area thing. But I am also somebody who really believes in the power of sports, and specifically because I love this game, the power of soccer to bring a community together. And yeah, there is a line where you're spending too much or you're giving away too much or you're helping a wealthy individual too much. And you're basically giving away things to somebody who doesn't need that. But the power of a sports team to create an identity and a civic spirit is real. I really believe that that's real.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And then we talked about the not a farm team aspect of it. I wonder how much of a sell that is. Like you will be representing X city, this case, Fresno. Like it will be specifically your team playing for your town. And I think that has a lot of intangible power behind it.
Right.
City officials. So what the actual outcome of this meeting on Tuesday, what actually happened was that the city and USL came to an exclusivity agreement. So basically they're calling dibs on development there. So they're in a group together. So they actually entered into this agreement back in November, which I thought was an interesting note. And city officials are hoping to start this team by March of 2028. So definitely in the early stages here, but trying to go for it for a third or fourth time out in Fresno. And I know on the show, we don't really give assignments, but as we've been talking, if there's anyone handy with a short graphics out there, an animation of Justin Papadakis, head sticking out of a train, waving his arm, hitting some sort of a bell or a clanger.
Old-fashioned, yeah. I also think it's important to acknowledge that Fresno Fuego or Central Valley Fuego still exists. Okay, they're no longer pro. I think we maybe implied that they don't exist. They stopped being a pro team and became basically an amateur outfit that plays in the league for clubs. I believe it's technically the Fresno U23s or the Central Valley Fuego U23s who play in the league for clubs. And I think there is I think there is an effort to level up Fuego and maybe even build something small in terms of a stadium, but maybe not obviously centrally located downtown, et cetera, et cetera. So this is much bigger, obviously, in terms of the league and the level and things like that. But I suppose it's possible we can end up with two teams in Fresno, two teams sort of battling in the same way that Chattanooga has Chattanooga FC and the Red Wolves in two different leagues at the same level. Then maybe this would not be the same level, but I think, I worry about that because you're splitting the baby on a marketplace that probably needs focus on one club. But you can't tell somebody who wants to start a team in League for Clubs and maybe go to USL or go to MLS Next Pro or something not to do it just because there's a USL team in town, right? Unfortunately, our system does not work that way. There's no exclusivity outside of the leagues. So that's interesting. Although, again, the city and their involvement is tied directly to USL now.
And also note there is a women's team, a Fuego Femenil, playing there. So definitely make that note. And then, Olive York, let's make an FC monorail kit, which would be an absolute hoot. But we'll see if we see a 5,000 to 7,000 attendee stadium out in Fresno, California. It'd be interesting to add some regionalization out there in California. Thank you to all of our subscribers, our MK Ultras, our channel members, and you'll see their comments up on screen. One of the perks of becoming a channel member, you get your comments on screen during these live streams. And if you want to inquire more, it's just like $3 a month. You get access to the Discord server, early access to videos, bonus content, access to getting your comments on screen, and so much more. Loving the Discord. It's a great information gathering thing. A lot of people sharing information. You get a lot of news across the country from our dedicated soccer folks in the Morning Kickaround Discord server.